So a lot of guys are always wondering, does NoFap actually make you more attractive to women? Well, that's exactly what you're going to learn in this video. But before we get into that, my name's Keefe Carpenter. I made this channel to help men create their ideal lives through self-mastery. Be sure to subscribe to the channel because I'm putting out new videos every single day to help guys just like you create their ideal lives. So let's get into this. NoFap and female attraction. It's the biggest motivator, I think, that guys get on this NoFap path. And as much as there's a lot of other benefits that I personally think are more important, this is the one that drives them, and whatever motivates you to quit watching pornography and get your life together, I'm all for that. So in the case of female attraction, does it make you more attractive? The answer is yes, and I have three main areas why I think this happens, three main reasons that is, and we're going to get into those right now. The first main reason why NoFap makes you more attractive to women is that when you stop watching pornography, your brain chemistry is going to change and you're going to become a more social kind of person. A few years ago when I quit watching pornography and stopped masturbating all the time, I was in college, and I noticed immediately that, first of all, I had all this energy and all these things, all the other benefits you get from NoFap and just a better outlook on life, more confidence, all these other things. But when it came to women, I could immediately notice the difference in myself and how I was interacting with women. I could communicate better. I had more confidence. I was picking up on social cues, and one big thing that a lot of guys don't realize is that girls are oftentimes putting out these social cues, but we're so in our heads and so busy doubting ourselves and feeling bad for ourselves because we've been watching pornography and stuff that we completely miss the fact that they're doing it. But they're putting out these signals. Women want a man just as much as a man wants a woman. It's not some exclusive thing. So what happens when you get your head out of the phone, you start looking for real women and real connections, is you start to notice when women are actually interested in you. And maybe at first you don't have the balls to say something, but eventually you'll get the confidence up because first of all, you're not watching porn, so you got to go talk to real girls now. And what happens is, like I said, you're going to notice this, your confidence is going to go up, plus your brain chemistry begins to change. You have hardwired your brain, if you've been watching porn for many years, especially if you started young, to change its attraction template and the thing it's looking for sexually. And what happens after you stop watching porn is you give your brain a chance to change the neurochemistry back and to rewire its attraction circuits, and the way it communicates and the way you communicate with people will change as a result. If you were like me, I was addicted to porn from 12 to 18 years old. It's like you look at women as these sex objects rather than looking at them as people and building a connection, and you're completely prioritizing this sex aspect of a woman. And obviously men and women are meant to have sex, but the connection you can have with a woman, whether it's your girlfriend or just a friend or just a person you speak to, is far deeper than just your nut, getting your nut off. And you'll begin to notice those things, and real connections, real attraction is formed in a much bigger way than just arousal sexually. It's a whole body experience. Your heart gets involved, there's a lot of energy and things going on, and your body gets back into the flow of doing that when you stop watching pornography. Second thing I had down is you begin to increase your sexual market value. Low-level behaviors go together, whereas high-level behaviors go together. So if you're the kind of guy who watches porn, you're probably also the kind of guy who eats junk food. You're also probably the kind of guy who plays video games. All these low-level behaviors that aren't helping you. Once you cut out one of those, especially a big one like pornography and masturbation, you've now put yourself on this standard where you're expecting more of yourself. So these other areas of your life are also going to rise. You're going to have this time, and ideally, if you're not watching pornography, you're focusing on improving yourself. If you're in school, that means better grades, better social circle, hit the gym, or if you're working on a business, it's getting that business right or getting the promotion at your job. You'll probably be fired up to go talk to more girls. Your sexual market value will increase as a result of not being on NoFap, just as a result of the other habits you'll pick up. For me, when I stopped doing this, I started my first business. I got in the best shape of my life. I'd always been big on fitness, but the one area I neglected, and this is a good example of what I'm talking about, is working out for me was always easy. The hard part for me was the diet. I never liked to diet. I thought it was this big thing I didn't want to deal with. But once I stopped watching pornography, started focusing on I want to be this ultimate version of myself, I got on a diet. I disciplined myself more. I got on my diet. I was in the best shape of my life, probably. I was at like 3 or 4% body fat at one point on this diet, which for those of you who don't know, that's like bodybuilders standing on stage, like body fat percentages. I was very, very lean. I don't even want to be that lean again, but I had my diet on control. I had my body. I was training hard. I was making great results in the gym. I was building a business. I was building a social circle, and I'd always been kind of the like, not really the run of the group, but certainly not very confident person in a social circle. Now I was changing that. I was becoming that social kind of guy that I wanted to be, and all this started to change as soon as I quit watching pornography, and it's only gone up from there. Hey guys, real quick, if you're enjoying this video, be sure to give it a like. It helps me out a lot in the algorithm so that I can get my message out to more guys. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. Now, back to the episode. Okay, the third and final reason why NoFap makes you more attractive to women is you stand out immediately. You start using your body more to express. You feel more confident and in your body and in control of the entire experience of being a human being, rather than, when you bust a nut, you're immediately up in your head most of the time, and especially if you did it from porn, because you're feeling shame and you're feeling all these other things. But when you don't do that, you're in your body, you're experiencing fully an interaction, and like I said, you get that more of a energetic experience as well as just the arousal of the situation. It's a lot more fun, bantery, and you notice it immediately, and the girls notice it immediately. They can tell, I did start to get more attraction from women on top of the fact that I just started noticing the attraction I was getting, and a lot of it was simply the fact that I was just a more charismatic social guy. I was more socially calibrated, and I was just someone with a good energy coming out. I mean, people can feel, you can resonate with different energies, and you can tell when somebody's the kind of guy you want to interact with or the kind of girl you want to interact with and who isn't, and that becomes very clear when you get on NoFap, and you'll stand out because most guys aren't doing this, and unless you are the kind of guy who is naturally very socially savvy, you're not going to be very good in social situations if you're watching pornography and things. So once that starts to change, you really stand out. Girls notice it. Guys will even notice it too, because everybody could tell I was making this big change. Nobody knew why. I wasn't talking about it, but it was very obvious that I had transformed a lot to everyone who was witnessing this, and I know the same will happen for you. Guys, that's all I've got for this video. I'll see you tomorrow on my next video. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna put another video that I think you'd like right here. Also, like I said, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you don't miss anything. I'll see you on tomorrow's video.